we have a small problem, a small issue, I think, and you can probably guess where we are. Yeah, we are in the house project, and apparently we have decided to, come to this place just for like a regular check how everything is looks, and well, we find something that I pretty much was kind of upset about, and that is with the fence. Our fence it's not ruined, it's not fold or any boards or dismantle or reattached, but the problem was what we found was the poles together with pretty heavy fence was some parts crooked on one or either other side, which means because it's a plus temperature, it's +5, but it's constantly raining and raining and raining, so the ground is super soft. And I think in previous, I don't know, week probably, there was a storm for a few times actually, and I think that wind caused it in a very soft ground, even though we made a pretty much deep holes with a concrete, but the top layer where only the ground is and it's soft, I think it's kind of wiggle and wiggle and wiggle together with the wind with the fence, and it kind of left it like that, tilted on one or either other side. So I'm thinking about the solution. I tried to push it back and forth to make it at least pretty much straight, but the problem is still it's gonna be eventually. And well, at least good that it's not fell apart or just broke completely. The house is solid, everything is fine. I checked from all around the corners, everything seems complete. All the corners, the metal sheeting, all the edges and everything as it was, as I left it, everything is like that. So here is our fence. If you have watched almost the first episodes of our project, this house, you probably, it's a lot of mud over here, you probably can slightly see at some places there is pretty much crooked, and so it was way worse than this. It was actually tilted almost, I don't know, maybe maximum 4-5 maybe degrees. And of course I obviously just smush it around, everything is nice and straight right now. But the problem is, I think that it's probably the fence is heavy, I mean, it's wood, obviously. I think the problem was maybe the gaps was too close to each other, the boards. So between the gaps is somewhere is 2.5 meters, and those poles are, I think, maybe it's too thin, but I don't think, I haven't found any bent pole, because at some places, I don't know, can we see it? It just bounces back and forth, and I think that bounce actually let those blocks inside where we put the concrete constantly, by pushing by the wind from this side, let's say, it constantly move it and move it and move it, and slightly tilted. So the solution I'm thinking right now is to just, either way, I'm gonna just buy poles, let's say for example the same ones as these ones, and just add in the middle extra one in the middle of every gap or I have another solution which I think would be a bit better. I'm gonna buy like a metal bar, like a concrete one, basically a concrete bar, which is, you know, like you put like how you call those, you put metal bars and then you pour the concrete on top. So basically this like constructional like metal bars, you know. I think I'm gonna look for 20 or maybe 22 millimeter, like 2.2 centimeter metal bars, which I think like solid, like thick steel. It shouldn't like, you know, bounce around. It could like bounce a bit, but it's like super tough, you know. It's not like 10 millimeters. I don't think it's gonna bend. So I think what we're gonna do is actually between like the fence poles, we're gonna put like exactly between the poles, we're gonna put like extra, like let's say 2.5 meter bar or 3 meter bar length of 22 millimeter thick steel, and just drive it in the middle, right above, like right to this level. So that is like, you know, like the holding structure to the top. So I think we're gonna put it, I don't know, for example, this is probably like 1.40 meters to the here from the ground, and either 1 meter or 1.5 meters straight into the dirt. And because the steel is like super like solid inside, it could be like last probably a lifetime, you know. So I think that is kind of the solution of what I'm gonna do, you know, and how I'm gonna do it. So either way, you know, the wind is not controllable. I think we're gonna just put like one steel bar from the outside of the perimeter, and then on the other half we're gonna put inside and then outside, basically like a chessboard, you know, like zigzags all the way around the whole fence. So I think that is pretty much the solution to fix that, because, you know, it's good that I actually came and like checked if everything is all right, you know, nothing is crooked. I checked the house, the inside house, everything is nice. There are some conditions, you know, like a few drops on the top tent, but it's simply because there's no isolation, no like covers all the way like to the top. But that is normal actually. So yeah, that is kind of the problem with the house project. And I think like today is a Friday, so obviously it's pretty late now, so nothing is working. So I think I'm just gonna call it like this for the weekend. Hopefully it will not gonna blow pretty high winds. And on Monday, I think I'm gonna just go. Right now I'm gonna count how much I need. On Monday I will go and order these metal bars, and then we're just gonna smash them into the ground all the way around to like strengthen the whole fence. And later on we're just gonna put like with the screws, like we're gonna make like a holders to attach to the fence. And then we just obviously gonna paint same black, so it won't, you know, rust and so on. So yeah, that is the thing, and there is a solution for that. So hopefully it will not break. And now let's go to the garage. Here we are back in the garage with our project, of course. I miss this a lot actually. While I was away for like few days, I kind of like thought actually what we're gonna do with the back, how it's gonna like all turn out to be, you know, how we're gonna do all these panels, all the fenders, and it's just like a lot of thinking. And then obviously we need to make into reality. So I did a lot of, you know, like sketches, like paintings, drawings, how it should look like. And I think we are going to, not today I think I'm gonna just, you know, do as a comeback, you know, what is up and what do we have to do. So basically, what do we have now? So as you probably know, the driver side is basically done. I think we're gonna probably redo or slightly like modify this part where it all like comes down to the side skirt over here. Probably gonna like modify these vents over there too. And for the rear fender, this like over fender, everything supposed to be like that. I kind of was satisfied how it like looked. Over here, obviously we're gonna later on just trim it, and it's gonna be like, you know, like straight to the tire, like a vent. And yeah, here I'm starting, obviously, if you saw the last like previous episodes, we basically started to shape it, like copy it from the other side to here. I didn't do the doors as you saw, so the doors are still free, so I can do more of a careful job by this inner section from the rear side over here. So you know, be hollow, but that hollow is supposed to be, if just in case you're gonna do it, like this part where like with the door connects with the fender, always do as the car propels towards, which means everything propels like back, even the water and the wind. So never do like this. If you're gonna do like that, then the water is gonna get trapped inside the gaps, and it's gonna start to flow inside, like inwards, and eventually after some long time it can actually go even inside, you know. So that is a bad thing to happen. So always at least slightly do like that direction where this water like can go easily out. Yeah, with the sides, I think that's kind of it. That's how actually supposed to be, how I like imagined. Everything turned out great. For the rear, I don't know, but like I kind of like this like thick like bumper over here. I just sprayed like everything entirely, you know. And I kind of like this like big shape, you know. It adds up like a lot, because if you're gonna you know, like skim it like too much, then the car is like probably gonna look like pretty wide at the middle, and then it's just like narrow at the downside, which I think it doesn't add up like much of a look. So I think like similar like that, I think we're gonna do it just like that. We're just gonna skim it like slightly, not too much, so it won't look, you know, skinny. Of course, the over fender adds up, looks good, so that should be all fixed. And for this rear diffuser, well, it's a lot of work. I haven't took my laser yet, but we're gonna need that for sure. I'm gonna need to make sure again my level with the car is like straight, so then I can work onto the diffuser. And I think we're gonna lift up slightly the exhaust, so it won't be too low, because you know we have to like pre-cut the rear spring, so it should be even more lower, which would be a bit of a problem and situation when we're gonna go onto the curbs. So definitely gonna lift up, then use the laser and do all the diffuser. Probably here I'm just gonna make like an edge around it all the way here. I like it a lot actually, so probably gonna keep it like that. And for the rest, probably I'm just gonna shape it so it will be, you know, nice and even, like Nothing too crazy, no forms or anything. It's just like a regular, normal looking fat bumper, you know, that looks pretty much aggressive from the back. Obviously the spoiler looks great. Probably I will gonna need to adjust slightly back and down, so it will be not that high, so it will look in complete car, it will look a little bit, you know, the back like lower. And for now is just like a plywood, so like temporarily I make like a sketches, you know, how I want, so I can either cut it or just, you know, make it a new one. And when I'm gonna be satisfied with the forms for the end of this and the legs, I'm just gonna make it out of CNC, like custom, you know, from metal. So it should be all great. So with the spoiler, nothing too crazy, not a big job. It's just a lot of measuring and fitting like onto the rear trunk over here, and that's kind of it. So yeah, that is kind of pretty much, I think. What else? So I purchased some more foam, more of this like spray foam, so tomorrow definitely will have something to work with and start carving. If you're gonna do mistakes, we can just simply, like, you know, pre-foam it, and that's kind of it. As always, if you like these episodes, I mean, this is kind of, I don't know, either tutorial or just an information, you know, like a vlog type. So if you like it, drop a like and see you guys tomorrow.